So if you're a solo game dev, you've definitely heard the promise of AI, right? Infinite assets, creating stuff in an instant. But let's be real, the reality can feel, well, a lot more chaotic. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and build a clean, repeatable toolkit that's actually going to help you ship your game. Let's dive in.
Oof, does this hit a little too close to home? You know that feeling, right? You open up your folder and it's just overflowing with mismatched sprites, UI elements that totally clash, and a soundtrack that just feels off. You are not alone. This is pretty much the starting line for so many of us.
It's a total paradox, isn't it? We have all this incredible power, literally at our fingertips, more than ever before, but it just leads to this paralysis. We spend hours and hours tweaking prompts, chasing that one perfect asset, but the game itself, it's just not moving forward. So what are we missing here?
And here's the thing. Feeling overwhelmed is not a sign that you're failing. It's just a symptom. You're trying to be the art director, the composer, the UI designer, and the coder all at the same time without any real process for making decisions. The tools are great. It's the workflow that's broken.
So, how do we fix it? Well, it all starts with a pretty fundamental shift in your mindset. We've got to stop thinking only like a developer and start thinking like a producer.
Your job isn't just about creating cool things. It's about managing your resources, and I'm talking your time, your money, and your energy to get a finished product out the door. You're the one who has to make the tough calls to make sure this game actually ships.
And this slide really nails the difference. See, the developer in us just wants to try out that shiny new AI model or tweak a prompt for just one more hour. But the producer inside asks a different question. What's the fastest, most effective way to protect the vision and ship this thing on time and on budget? One is chasing experiments, the other is chasing the finish line.
And this is the producer's secret weapon. It's a simple rule. Divide all your assets into two camps. You've got your anchor assets. These are the big, high-impact visuals that sell your game. The key art, the main character. You spend your limited budget on those. Everything else? That's filler content, and that is where AI becomes your absolute best friend, helping you scale up efficiently. Okay, so with that producer hat firmly on, let's build your practical toolkit. We're going to look at specific strategies you can use to manage your vision, your time, and your budget. When it comes to your art, the single most important tool you have is this, a style guide. Seriously, this is non-negotiable. Think of it like a compass that guides every single prompt you write, every asset you generate, making sure they all look like they belong in the exact same world.
And you know, this makes perfect sense. You can't really blame an AI tool for giving you inconsistent stuff if you haven't even clearly defined what consistent means for your project. The tool is just a mirror, reflecting your instructions. Vague instructions are going to give you vague, mismatched assets every time.
And hey, a style guide does not need to be some 50-page document. It can be as simple as this, a yes/no list. Yes, we use rounded UI buttons. Yes, characters have visible silhouettes. And on the other side, no, photo textures. No, sharp corners. These super simple rules give the AI clear boundaries to work inside of.
Okay, let's talk about the biggest time suck for so many of us. Animation. Ugh, this is where projects go to die, right? Frame by painful, painstaking frame. But AI can give you that time back, not by replacing you, but by automating all the boring grunt work. So here's the smart way to do it. First, you are the artist. You block out the most important key poses, the ones that define the timing and the emotion. Then you hand off the boring part. You let the AI handle all those tedious in-between frames and the cleanup. And finally, you're back in the director's chair to test it out and make tweaks. You stay in creative control, you just outsource the repetition.
Now for music, you got to stop looking for some magic, generate my entire soundtrack button. It doesn't exist. Instead, think of AI music tools as a factory that produces musical Lego pieces. You know, short, loopable stems for different moods, like tension, or combat, or calm. Your job is to be the builder, arranging those pieces inside your game engine to create a score that's truly adaptive.
Whatever you do, do not sleep on your user interface. A confusing or ugly UI is like a secret profit killer. It's where players get frustrated and just quit. A consistent, clear UI, which AI can help you prototype and refine, by the way, is absolutely crucial for keeping players around. It directly adds value to your game.
Okay, so we've got our creative toolkit. But a producer's job isn't just about making things, it's also about managing risk. And this is the part that is so easy to ignore until it's way too late. I'm talking about licensing.
Think about it this way.
You wouldn't go operate heavy machinery without putting on safety gear, right? So you shouldn't launch a commercial game without knowing exactly where your assets came from and if you actually have the rights to use them. This isn't boring paperwork, it's professional self-preservation.
And look, your approach to licensing should scale with your ambition. If you're just making a little hobby game for fun, keeping some simple notes is probably fine. But if you're planning a serious launch with real revenue goals, your diligence has to ramp up. This little map shows you how to think about it, when it's okay to just keep records, and when you might need to start thinking about professional advice.
All right, we have covered the mindset, the tools, and the risks. Let's make this totally concrete and give you an actionable plan to build your own toolkit starting right now.
It's this simple. Don't try to learn 10 tools at once. That's just a recipe for more chaos. Just pick one trusted tool for each of the 4 main categories. One for art, one to help with animation, one for music, and one for your UI. That's it. That's your starting lineup.
I'm serious. Do this the second this is over. Open up any document and write down your default choice for each of these categories. Even if the answer is, I don't have one yet, just writing it down makes it real. This tiny act turns all this abstract advice into your personal, focused plan of attack.
And that's really the whole point, isn't it? An AI toolkit isn't about chasing the newest, shiniest tech or making perfect little assets in a vacuum. It's about building a boring, dependable system that helps you finally cross that finish line. It's about empowering you to ship the game you set out to make in the first place.